All right. Can everyone hear me? All right. Let me know. Put in the chat if you can hear me. Please put in the chat. Make sure my sound is on. Thank you so much. All right. Welcome to the 12th episode of our live webinar here. And my goal here is to demystify commercial multifamily real estate and help you do your first deal. So, welcome everyone. I appreciate you being here tonight. Do me a favor. I would like to know where you're calling from, where you're calling in from. So, I have British Columbia, Pierre from where? Iowa? All right. Let's see who else do we have here. All right. Durrell from the 510. Tiffany from North Carolina. Toronto. Yorba Linda, Detroit. All right. Dallas, Texas. Lubbock, Georgia. All right. Huey from Southern California. Ruth from DMV. All right. Andrew, Kim from Richmond. Somebody from the Bay Area. Somebody on vacation in Dubai. All right. Welcome. Rhode Island. Okay. Hope you dug out of that snow. All right. Someone said Egypt. All right. Awesome. All right. Great. Great. All right. Thanks, everyone. All right. So you have me for 1 hour. I have you. So we're going to jump right into it. So tonight is all about analyzing multifamily real estate. Okay. Here's what most of you are struggling with, and I'm going to solve tonight. You're probably asking the question, what if I miss something when I'm analyzing a property, right? What if my numbers are wrong? I don't trust my assumptions. I don't know what actually matters. I don't have the perfect spreadsheet. If I move too fast, I'll make a mistake. I need more data, right? That used to be me, right? I don't feel ready, right? So tonight we're going to solve all of this. So you're going to come away with all this answer tonight. All right. So let's get started. Put in the chat, how many of you have ever played the game Monopoly? Who? Give me a yes or no. How many of you have played Monopoly, right? The board game. Really fun, right? You got all these pieces here. It's a square board. You get to roll the dice and then go around, and it's a lot of fun. And the last person standing wins, right? Yeah. So just a fun game. So imagine this, right? Imagine playing Monopoly but never buying any assets, right? Never buying any income producing properties, right? So imagine you just went around and collected your $200 paycheck, right? Paying the rich, paying Uncle Sam, right? And and it also started trying to do your best to stay out of jail, right? Imagine you just did that, right? That's how most people live their life today. They are really into income accumulation and not income generation. So tonight is about income generation. I'm going to show you that tonight. And it starts with knowing how to analyze and evaluate multifamily, right? I'm going to do my best tonight to show you how to analyze multifamily as if I'm explaining it to a fifth grader. Okay, so you're going to get this. All right, all right. So let's get started. So what I want to do first is run a poll just so I can see where you are on this part here. All right, so let me run my first poll here. All right, I'm going to run this poll here. All right, do you see this poll? Maybe not here. Let me go to relaunch. Okay, all right. Where is it? There we go. Let me relaunch it. There we go. Okay, there we go. So when you look at a multifamily deal, what do you analyze first, right? Purchase price, cap rate, monthly cash flow, the rents, or I'm not sure. Put your answers in there. Okay. When you analyze a multifamily deal, what's first? Do you look at the purchase price? Does that matters first? Does that matter most? Cap rate, monthly cash flow, the rents, or I'm not sure. Put that in there. All right. All right. Most of you all are putting in 40% monthly cash flow. Great. 21% cap rate. 15%, I'm not sure. Thank you for your honesty. And then we have purchase prices 16%. But by far, everyone, 40% is saying monthly cash flow. Good for you. We're going to spend a lot of time on how to calculate the monthly cash flow accurately. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. I want to run a second poll. Let me run the second poll here. All right. All right. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to relaunch this poll here. Launch it. There you go. All right. What number do you feel least confident in? Okay. In calculating the NOI, the cap rate, cash on cash return, or cash flow? Tell me. All right. This will tell me how much time tonight I need to spend on this category. So put in all your answers. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. We have cap rate, cash and cash, or neck and neck at 34, 35%. Still, some of you are 15% are saying cash flow, 14% are saying NOI. All right. So cap rate calculation, cash and cash calculation are running neck and neck, about 34 to 36% each. All right. So very good. Thank you. So I know tonight when we get to this, when we get to the topic of cap rate and cash on cash return, I am going to make sure that you get this. All right. Okay. So let me end the poll. I'm going to jump into our screen here. Let me share this here. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get started here. Let me do that and this. All right. Okay. So we're going to get started here with this right here. All right. Okay. All right. So 3 simple steps to evaluate any multifamily investment in 5 minutes. Okay. I'm going to share how to do this in 5 minutes. All right. I did my poll, so I think we're ready to go there. All right. Next, I want to share with you 3 things I want you to know. Okay. Everyone pay attention to this. Number one, when you evaluate a multifamily property, you got to realize that sellers lie. Okay. Sellers are proven guilty until innocent. That's how you need to look at that. I don't care who they are, right? They may not lie on purpose, okay? But a lot of them lie on purpose and it throws off all the numbers. So the mentality we are moving forward with is sellers lie, okay? All right. Number two is a truth that you really have to understand. And number two is you can't manage your way out of a bad neighborhood. Okay. No matter how good the numbers are, no matter how much you think it cash flows on paper, if it is in a bad neighborhood and you're evaluating it, if you buy it, you are going to fail. All right. So do not buy in a bad neighborhood, no matter how good the numbers are. Okay. So you can't manage your way out of a bad neighborhood, no matter who you hire. Okay. Number three, fall in love with the numbers and not the property. Okay. This is how we protect our students. Students will bring us deals and they would say, Peter, look at this beautiful property. It's a tree-lined street. Look how beautiful the architecture is. And I grew up in this neighborhood. I want this property so bad, Peter. And then we look at the numbers and I go, the numbers are awful. This property is a no-go, right? So they get really emotional. And as you know, as emotions go up, intelligence goes down. All right. So these are 3 things I really want you to know and get tonight. All right. Okay. Let me put in the chat here. Name the famous athlete who said this, right? The reason I'm the best player in the world is because I never get bored with the basics. Who said that? Right. Give me your answers. Who said that? Right. Okay. Okay. And this is a basketball player. So tell me who said that. All right. So let me tell you who said that. Who said that was Kobe Bryant. Okay. He's a guy that will spend 5 hours on dribbling, shooting, and passing. Okay. Just the fundamentals, 5 hours before practice started. So he really believed in really understanding the basics. So tonight we're going to do the same thing tonight. Okay. You're all going to end up being the Kobe Bryant multifamily evaluation tonight because we're going to focus on the basics. I'm going to start here. You need to, if you want to evaluate a deal, we need to begin with these 3 things. Okay. So When you are online, LoopNet, Crexi, broker gives you deal, seller gives you deal, we need to get these three things. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to get them. You need to get number one, the rental income. Number two, the expenses. And number three, the mortgage. Okay. Now, the mortgage is not the current mortgage on the property. We could care less about that. The seller could have could have gotten the mortgage in 1980. We can care less. This mortgage I'm referring to is your mortgage on the property. Okay. Make that clear. All right. So let's go over number one, which is the income. Okay. Rental income. All right. So let's say you're looking at a property from a broker. Ideally, you want to get the first 12 months of the rental income. That's what you want to get. Okay. The first 12 months, the last 12 months of the rental income. It's called a T12, right? Never rely on performa. If you see the word performa anywhere near the income, it's not the real income, it's projected. Okay. So don't believe in that. All right. So now, the true critical documents needed is a rent roll and an income statement. Okay, rent roll tells you who's there and what they're paying, and an income statement tells you the amount of money they collect in 12 months. All right, we'll make this very simple for you. All right, so let's say you went online and you saw this deal. I just pulled this off of LoopNet today, about an hour ago, right? To show you when you look at deals, this is what you're going to find. When I say get the income, it's right here, unit A through F. And you have 2800 all the way down to 1850. You're going to add all this up, okay? And you're going to multiply it by 12. And it's going to give you $156,000. That's all they want you to do. That simple, okay? If you don't have this from the agent, from the seller, just ask, what are you bringing in per month? We need that number, okay? We need the income, all right? Okay, here's a quick poll on a run on just that part. Okay, just a really quick poll. All right, let me go back here. And the poll I'm going to run is, okay, all right, where it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to launch this poll here. When analyzing a deal, okay, do you blindly trust the broker's income statement? Do you not ask questions as the stated income is correct, or do you adjust the income yourself or with an expert help? Or I'm not sure what to do. Give me your answer here. Again, this tells me where I need to take it tonight. Okay. I have a great plan tonight. Your answer here will make it even better. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. Overwhelmingly, you are saying when analyzing deal, you adjust the income yourself or with an expert's help. Fantastic. That is the answer I'm looking for, right? And then also some of you are saying, I'm not sure what to do. Tonight, I would tell you what to do. But yeah, you're basically going to adjust the income yourself or with an expert to help, our help, okay? All right. Thank you for participating in that. That was awesome. All right. So next, what I want to do here is I went over the income. All right. Next, what I want to do is go over the expenses. I will keep it very simple for you. Okay. Remember, income, expenses, mortgage. We just went over the income. The expenses are just this, right? Taxes, insurance, utilities, property management. Forget all that. Okay. All I want you to do is estimate the expenses to be 35% of the effective gross income, right? So if the seller says, I make $100,000 per year, you're going to multiply the 100,000 by 35%, which is $35,000. Boom, you have your expenses. Okay, $35,000. Don't worry about, getting the taxes, insurance, all that. Just use for now 35%. That is the industry standard. All right. Okay. Here's a chat question for you. Right. This concerns expenses. Okay. Put the answer in the chat. The biggest pitfall that beginners have is A, underestimating property expenses, B, choosing the best wall color, or C, watching too much ESPN. Give me the obvious answer here. Okay, give me the obvious answer. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed this poll. And glad you are choosing A, which is underestimating property expenses. And this is what we have our students do because when an average person buys a deal, it does not cash flow because they don't have the wherewithal to know what expenses should be. We do, after 25 years of operating this business, we know what expenses should be. So when the seller or broker gives you an expense breakdown, um, I would say 98% of the time is not enough expenses. Okay, so we will bump up the expenses to make them realistic so that your cash flow is more realistic. Okay, this is why I have that here. It's very important to let you know what the biggest pitfall is when examining expenses. Okay, all right, so I went over the income, I went over the expenses. Now let's go over the mortgage. And again, I'm going to keep it very simple for you. Okay, let's talk about standard mortgage assumptions. Okay, 25% down payment. We're going to use an interest rate of 6%, and we're going to use an amortization 25 years. Okay, so if you have a property that's $1 million, you're going to put down 250. The balance will be 750, right? We're going to use a 6% interest rate with a 25-year amortization. That's the mortgage assumption to keep it nice and simple. Okay, so I just gave you the income, the expense, and the mortgage. All right, so those are three things that we need. Now, next, I'm going to go over the deal that we're going to go over tonight, right? Here's the deal. All right, say 12-unit property, purchase price $1 million, 12 units, all 2 bedrooms. The rents are $1,000 a month each, right? 2-story, garden style, separately metered utilities, and located in an 8% cap rate market. This is key. Remember this. The market cap rate is 8%. That means every other property that's like this property that has sold operated at an 8% cap rate. Okay, so we're going to use that later. Just remember that. This is the market cap rate. Okay, it's like a sales comp for cap rates. All right, okay. All right, so what I want to do now is share with you the 3 steps we're going to do that will take you 5 minutes. All right, step number 1 is to gather information. Step number 2 is to calculate the metrics. And step 3, you're going to make a decision. Okay, all right, so here's step number 1. Step number 1 is gather the property information. Okay, the purchase price, the current rental income, operating expenses. Hey, step 1 may take you a day or so to get, right? Because you're communicating back and forth with the seller, with the agent. The part that would take you 5 minutes to do tonight is going to be step 2 and 3. Okay, so once you have step 1, you gathered all the information, you're going to calculate what I call the multifamily metrics. If and when you understand how to calculate cash flow, cash on cash return, and cap rate, you will be in so much better position to only buy good deals and keep the bad deals out. Okay. All right. In step 3, I'm going to give you a framework to make a decision if this is a go or no go. All right. Got it? All right. Are you guys getting this so far? Put in the chat if you're getting this. Let me know. All right. I'm going to make sure I leave no one behind. All right. All right. Good. Good. All right. So I'm going to go over step 1 first. Okay. Step 1 is you're going to gather the property information. Here's what you're gathering, right? You're going to gather the income. I'm going to share it with you, calculations 1 through 5. So take your attention over to the right-hand side of the screen, okay? You have 12 units, all 2 bedrooms at $1,000 each, okay? So 12 times 1,000 is $12,000 per month times 12 months equals, okay, $144,000 a year. Next, I'm going to subtract vacancy, where it says, right, 5% vacancy, because you cannot assume that your property is going to be 100% full for 12 months. Never happens. Okay, so we're going to put in a safety factor of 5%, right? And then after you subtract the 5% from the 144, EGI means effective gross income, which is $136,800. Okay. Now, from that, I'm going to subtract my 35% expenses. So 35% of 136,800 is 40,880. Okay, so I have my income minus my expenses equals your NOI, net operating income. You all know from watching my videos how important the NOI is. As the NOI goes up, the property value goes up, also does the cash flow. It is probably the most important number of all in commercial real estate, the net operating income, NOI. So stick it in your head, all right? I have the t-shirt, NOI. Okay, it's that important. Okay, so once you have the NOI, you're going to calculate your mortgage. So you're going to, which is again, 6% interest rate, 25-year amortization. Remember, 25% down. So that equals about $4,600 a month times 12 is 57,987. So I gathered this so far. Okay. All right. Now, let's spend a little time on this right here. Let's do a quick discussion. I want to make sure you all get this. Okay. This is going to set up the rest of the call. I really, really, really want you to get this tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So put in the chat, what is cash flow? What is cash flow? Okay. Put it in the chat. Tell me what do you think it is. Let's help out some folks here who don't understand what this is. All right. Good, good. Okay. Let me explain it in a very simple way. Here's cash flow. I'm going to pull in, I'm going to collect all my income. I'm going to pay out all my expenses. I'm going to pay the mortgage, and whatever's left over is cash flow. That's all cash flow is. Okay. Now, next one, what is cash on cash return? This is my favorite one. This is cash on cash return is also known as the velocity of your money. Okay. So cash on cash return is your return on investment. Okay. If you put $100,000 into your property as a down payment, how quickly can you make the $100,000 back? If you make it back in 1 year of cash flow, it's 100% cash on cash return. If it takes you 2 years, that's a 50% cash on cash return. If it takes you 4 years to get your down payment back from cash flow, that's a 25% cash on cash return, 25% ROI. Very important number. So I'm going to give you some standards today on what your cash on cash return should be at a minimum. Okay. So cash on cash return is your velocity of money, how fast your money is moving. Very important in real estate because we want money to go in, to work. We raise the NOI. We're getting a position we can pull the money out and buy another one. That's why it's so important. Okay. Next is what is cap rate? Let me explain what cap rate is. Cap rate is what is your return on investment if you paid all cash for your property? Okay, no mortgage. If you have $1 million 12-unit property, you dropped $1 million at closing, no loan. So what is the return on that $1 million, right? From the cash flow, from the income and expenses, right? What is the ROI? That's what the cap rate is, all right? So make sure you understood that, okay? So these three things, cash flow, cash on cash return, and the cap rate, these three things will help you determine if we have a good deal or a bad deal. All right, now I'm going to show these three in action. Look at this screen right here. This is from the previous deal. All right, so here's step two. You're going to calculate your multifamily deal metrics. All right, here's the cash flow. The cash flow, remember, is your NOI minus your mortgage payments. Annual debt service is annual mortgage payments. Okay, so we have 88,920 minus 57,000 equals $30,000 a year in cash flow. Okay, some of you may need to snapshot this on your screen or on your phone so you can see this. Okay, this is very important. So snapshot it as I go through this. Okay, next you have cash on cash return, the velocity of your money. The formula is this: cash flow, okay, annual cash flow divided by your down payment. Okay, so the cash flow is $30,000 divided by your $250,000 down payment. The cash on cash return is 12.3%, which is fantastic, right? Fantastic. What are bank CD rates? 3 or 4%, 4% max. I looked it up. Okay. All right. Next, you have your cap rate. It's called your deal cap rate. Your deal cap rate is what cap rate comes out from the numbers on your deal. Remember what I said about the market cap rate. The market cap rate is what other properties have sold for, okay, in the marketplace. So you have a deal cap rate, which is your deal, and the market cap rate is the other properties, what the average cap rates in those properties. Remember that, okay? So the formula for the cap rate is the NOI divided by the purchase price, and that equals 8.9%. Also very good. Okay. Now let me put it all together for you. All right, putting it all together, you have the gross rents 144,000. You might as well snapshot this too. Okay, snapshot this screen. Minus 5% vacancy equals your effective gross rents. I'm going to take 35% of this to calculate my expenses. So we can do it quickly in 5 minutes. And that comes out to be 47,880. Okay, so your effective gross rents minus expenses equals your NOI, net operating income, minus your mortgage equals a cash flow of 30,933. And here's a summary here. This deal cash flows $30,000 a year, cash and cash at 12.3, cap rate of 8.9%. All right. So now the question is, um, is this a good deal? Right? Put it in the chat. Give me your opinion so far. Put it in the chat. Would you do a deal like this? Would you, would you? Go ahead and put it in the chat. All right. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Next, what I want to do is give you a decision framework for is it a go or no go? All right. Here we go here. All right. So here's step 3, your decision framework. All 3, okay, must pass for the deal to be a go. All right. So again, your metrics is the cash flow, cash on cash return, and the deal cap rate. For the cash flow, I'm going to tell you what the standard should be. The standard should be positive cash flow. All right. Keep it very simple. Does this deal have positive cash flow? Yes. All right. For cash on cash return, the standard is I want you to beat what you can get at the bank. The banks right now give you deposit your $50,000 into a bank, they'll give you a 4% rate, right? Which is nothing after you pay income taxes on it and everything. So we want our cash and cash return to be much greater than the 4%. Or to me, why would you do this deal? Okay. And then for the cap rate, I want your deal cap rate. Remember, from the deal that we're working on, it must be higher than the market cap rate. Okay. Our deal cap rate, if you recall, was 8.9%. And do you recall what the market cap rate was? It was 8%. Okay. All right. So now here's our matrix right here. All right. Decision framework, go or no go. All right. So this property cash flows. I'm going to go to this screen to get straight to it. All right. So the answer is a go. Cash flow is greater than 0. So it's a go. Cash on cash return, 12.3%, greater than the 4% at the bank. It's a go. And the deal cap rate of 8.9%, greater than the market cap rate, right? Let me break this down a little for you. So when you have a deal cap rate greater than the market cap rate, that means that you are not overpaying. Okay, so this part protects you from overpaying. Okay, this has to do with the velocity of your money, and the cash flow, has to do with your survival. Got it? This is why it's so important to understand how to calculate cash flow, cash on cash return, and deal cap rate. Got it? All right. Put it in the chat if you're getting this. All right. Please do that. All right. So this is very important. Okay. All right. So now I want to ask a very important question. Here's a chat question. What would you do if you found an eightplex, okay, in a prime location, all 2-bedroom units, rents at $400 on the market, okay, it's all separately metered, but the seller is offering a market price, no discount, right? So you got to pay full price. Is this worth doing? Would you do it? Put it in the chat. Would you do it? All right. Okay. Some say yes. Most say yes. Some are asking questions. Okay, great. All right. So let me share with you this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a real deal, and it belongs to one of our students, Kendrick. I'm going to bring him on in a couple of minutes, but let me give you a quick review of Kendrick's deal. It's an 8-unit located in Georgia. He found it off market. Okay, huge value add. Purchase price $370. Down payment 15%. Yes, 15%. That's available when you know how to find off-market deals that cash flow very well, okay? And you know how to present a deal to a lender. This is what we do in our company. Took 4 months to close, right? Commercial, that's what it takes. It takes 4 months to close, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It takes a while, okay? Today's value, okay, as of at the end of February is worth $800,000. He bought it for 370, is worth 800,000. I'm going to share with you, not only does it cash flow, right? He's doubled the value by raising the rents. Now, I'll share with you how much he raised the rents by, right? Just imagine he put down 15%, which is like 55, $60,000, right? And he multiplied that 55 to $60,000 by 8 times. Okay. Where else can you do that? In multifamily, if you buy it right, if you know how to analyze property. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up Kendrick. So Kendrick, can you come on the screen, please? All right. Where's Kendrick? All right. There you go. Can you can you see me, Kendrick? Can
Yes,
you hear me?
sir. How you
All
doing?
right. How you doing?
All right, and yourself?
I'm doing great, doing great. Thank you for joining us, Kendrick. And um, we're going to share all about yourself and your deal and everything. And one thing I want to share first, I think people will really appreciate this before we get started. I'm going to share this screen one more time. Okay. And let me do that. I'm going to show this right here. All right. Let me get this out the way. All right. And okay, let me show this. Okay. 1 second here. When I stop that, this stopped. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share one more time. I'm going to share it one more time. Give me a second, Kendrick. I'm going to share this. This is, I just want people to see this. All right. And let's see if I can get this working here. Okay. Here we go. What if I, oh, we go. There we go. All right. Kendrick, you see that?
I do.
All right. So it's called Sylvia's Place. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you share with the audience who this is?
Sylvia's my mother. She was my biggest fan, but she didn't get a chance to see me get the deal or close on the deal and stuff like that. So for me, just to keep her involved with the property, um, because it means a lot to me, I named it, after her.
Awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And she's looking down. She's smiling, Kendrick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So Kendrick, can we start off with this? Share us your why. So why commercial real estate? What was going on in your life? Why did you contact us? What was going on?
Well, it started off with me reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, like a lot of people, and that kind of got me into single family rentals. And over the years, I accumulated a couple of rentals. But in the book, I remember him talking about Mr. Kiyosaki talking about four greenhouses, one red hotel,
Mm,
and I always kind of remember that. So years later, when I had the opportunity to investigate that. What I did was find out that the economies of scale kind of made sense to me with having multiple units under one roof, one property tax bill, 1 yard to maintain, stuff like that. So it kind of made sense. And then I kind of look forward a little bit to kind of get some help, and I kind of landed on you guys' page. So my dad used to always tell me, do what you have to do to be where you want to be. So I found you guys and pulled the trigger.
yeah, awesome, awesome. So Kendra, take us back to when you first and you found this deal off market, right? And you had a great relationship with the seller. You probably still do, I think, right?
I
After all
do.
these years. Yeah. Okay,
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
So this deal, in order to take the rents from like 425 to 925, right? Incredible. So at the very beginning, what did you see? So I know the property needed some work, right?
It did. And that's exactly what I saw. When I pulled up, I saw a lot of work. And I was like, wow, I don't know if I'm better tackle this. But I also saw that it was in a good location. It was priced a little bit under market, and it was rental upside. So once I saw that, I thought it was good enough to put it to the system and get a second set of eyes to look at it to say, okay, we should go further with this.
Yeah, and I in a previous screen I mentioned it took 4 months, right? Which is typical for us, but maybe for someone out there, they won't understand why it takes 4 months to buy an 8 unit commercial property. Explain to them what you have to go through for it to take 4 months.
Well, one of the things was just me going back and forth with the seller. We went back and forth on price. I met with him a few times. He went out of town a few times, and then couldn't get inspections done. Got the inspections done, and then it kept kicking the can pretty much down the road. So we kind of locked it down in December, and we finally closed the deal at the end of the year in 21.
Okay, great. And Kendrick, this is really important. We always have our students really kind of dig in and discover what the seller motivation is. What was the seller's motivation here?
Well, the original seller, they were in their 80s.
Mm,
So 88, 89 and stuff like that. So they had been there, done that, and had other businesses. So this was kind of on the back burner for them. They had a lot of deferred maintenance and stuff like that. So it was kind of, just wanted to kind of get rid of it and wanted somebody to take care of it. So I stepped in and was able to do that.
yeah. And ladies and gentlemen out there, these are the best deals, right? We have a slogan in our company that the best deals aren't just found, they're created.
Right.
And if an average person would have seen, and I'll show you pictures in a second, if they would have seen Kendrick's deal, they probably would have run away. Um, but Kendrick, he had the vision, he had us, so this was not a problem for us, right? And he took care of business in the next couple of years, and voila. All right. So speaking of that, Kendrick, on this deal, when you bought it with the rents on the two bedrooms at 425, right?
Right.
Yeah. What scared you most about getting the rents up?
But that was the thing. It was what scared me the most was how to get the rents up,
Mm,
and more particularly was that how can I cost effectively get the rents up and renovate the units with limited income that I had. And the second part of that was that once I do make the updates, will the prospective tenants like the units enough to want to stay there because they have options?
yeah.
So those were my two biggest things that I look forward to, and kind of worked out.
That brings up a thought, right? Um, when you take the rents from 425, you went from 425 to 725 and today 925, right?
Right.
How did you navigate? Because some of people are probably thinking they would just move out. They can't take that big of a rent. So what was you and your property manager strategy in going from 425 to 725 to 925? Did everybody move out?
They didn't, thank goodness. Um, and that was the thing. We kind of incrementally stepped up the folks that were gonna stay, doing some of the renovations. And I have to bring in Julia at this point because she helped
Mm,
me out so much during this phase of it. Finding the deal and closing on the deal is one thing, but during the maintenance phase and operations is totally different. So the biggest thing I think was that I needed to, and to show the tenants also that I was providing value to justify the rent increase. And I think we did that on the inside and outside, and nobody just took off, and we kind of did it as a one by one type of thing. So when I closed on the property, someone was scheduled to move out, and that was a lot of the learning curve in that one unit, and we just slowly, systematically did them one by one.
okay. How many years did it take you to renovate all eight? How many years did it take?
It took me 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Right.
So everyone out there, huge value add in this property. Kendrick took his time to create the $400,000 in equity. So you don't have to rush to get people out. Kendrick, at one point, what was the maximum number of vacancies you had at one point?
I think the max was two or three. I want to say three
Okay.
max at one time.
Three. And
Right.
and and then the other five tenants were still there to pay the bills.
Right, right. Which
Hmm.
made everything a lot
Yep.
easier and better.
Yep.
Right.
hmm It
Right.
makes me think, one of the basics of multifamily is and you've been here with your single family. You have a single family, that person leaves, how much income do you have?
Zero.
Zero, right?
Zero.
That's not fun. That is not fun,
Not
right?
at
You
all.
have 8 units, right? Three leave, you have five, you still able to cash flow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the beauty of commercial real estate. All right.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So, talk to us about your management company. So, how did you find them, and how do you manage them? Because the properties in Georgia, and you're in the West Coast with me.
I am. I
Yeah.
am.
So, how'd you do that?
So So I had a little bit of experience with doing long-term management because I was active duty and had the single families, right? But when I did my research on the management companies, I looked at a whole bunch of them in that area, did a bunch of interviews, and then settled on one. And over the time that we renovated and got the property stabilized, we developed a relationship. And like you always preach, it's a relationship business. And like I just brought in, Julia helped me out so much in this process about what to talk to the property managers about. This is acceptable. This is not acceptable. You should do this. You should do that. So all of these things made a whole lot of positive impact on the actual property and made it a lot easier for me to step away and pretty much just manage the manager. So uh, when I just go over the numbers and ask questions about this and that, I've been there. I know what things should look like and how it should run now. So it's a lot easier for me to be states away and still manage it and it still produces income.
Yeah. And Julia, you mean Coach Julia, right?
Yes, yes, Coach
Okay.
Julia.
All right. So, what's the name of your property manager? Property manager is
She's Jennifer.
Jennifer. Okay, so you have Julia and Jennifer,
Right,
and everyone out there. Julia is one of our coaches. She's managed over 3,000 apartment units, and after a student closes, she works with students like Kendrick to optimize their cash flow.
right,
And so Kendrick just described what it's like working with her. She will take your property that's not cash flowing into having it rebuilt, staying on budget, getting the rents up, and having the value approach from 370 to 800,000, right? And
right,
that's what happened, right? Over the
right,
last two
right,
and a half years, 2.5, 3 years.
right.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And Jennifer is your property manager. You're
Yes,
out here with me. She's the property's back in Georgia. So how
right.
often do you meet or talk with your property manager? I'm sure someone to know that.
Um, Jennifer is the lead, and there are three other ladies that
Mhm.
work in the office. I really talk to April more than anybody because she's in charge of the maintenance. So we talk probably at least 7, 8, 9, 10 times a month
Okay.
because things always happen, right?
Yep.
And we have a running joke that I don't like to hear from her because when I hear from her, it costs money. So, but we have a really good relationship,
That's great.
and they keep it running perfect.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Kendrick, I'm going to share some pictures, okay? Let's share some
Okay.
pictures here. All right. Let me share this here. All right. And share. Let's see what pops up there. All right. Okay. That's the property that you name after your mom. Do you see that picture?
Yeah.
All right. All right. And so kind of describe the before and the after, right? So what did your crew do to get from before to after? Kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, we pretty much had to renovate everything. So we had to new cabinets, countertops, floors, paint. Um, some toilets had to be replaced, stuff like that. So pretty much everything needed to be gutted and renewed. I saved some of the appliances, but outside of that, everything had to be gutted.
Okay. But you put in new appliances, right?
Some of them were new, some of them weren't.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. And you were able to take the rest from 425 to 925. And you and I went over the analysis the other day. So from the NOI method, it's like I did the math, 790 to like 810. But from the comparable sales method, it's like 830.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're kind of spot on there. by
Right.
bringing up these rents. Look what you created, right?
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's impressive.
Yeah. What do you owe on it? What's the balance now?
I want to say it's like 298.
Okay, 298 and it's worth 800,000. That's some serious equity there.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's awesome. That is
Right.
awesome. And it took you 3 years,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, so everyone out there, commercial is not an instant get rich quick. It takes a few years to create the type of wealth that Kendrick did. And Kendrick's been with us for 3 years, and he meets with our myself and Coach Julia after he closed every single month, so we can maximize the operations and the cash flow. Some of the properties that our students close on, they're good from day one. Some of them are like this, where we have to take them from their 425 level to the 925 level. Some of you don't know how much it should cost. We do. So Kendrick can go out and get quotes and show us, is this okay to pay? And we'll
Right.
look at it and we know all that. We say yes. And then we also know how long it should take and who to hire. So Kendrick was able to meet with all of us coaches and get all that done. All right. And all right, let me show another picture here. All right. This is a great picture here. So it didn't look like this beforehand, huh?
It didn't. It came a long way, and it's a good positive thing and fuel for you when the folks from that area come, like some of the guys that did maintenance, that cut trees down and stuff that know, say, man, you've really turned this property around. So
Hmm.
that really, really, really helped. But yeah, it's come a long way.
Yeah. And you mentioned something before. So you knew that the rents were 425 and they should be much higher. And the challenge was to not have all them move out. But something you told me a couple days ago is they appreciated the work that you did and were expecting a rent increase. Is that right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
Talk to
They
us about
did.
that. That's
Uh,
that's good to hear.
So one of the things was, when I first got the property and just looking at it, I saw a lot of work, and a lot of that work looked like trees that needed to be removed.
Mm,
And I wanted to remove them for safety, to extend the life of the roof. Grass wasn't growing because it was pine trees, so pine needles everywhere. And I had 19 pine trees removed and about five other trees. And
mm.
it just opened up the property a whole lot. And the tenants were coming outside and it was like, oh man, this is beautiful and stuff like this. Stuff, needs to be done. Also, inside of the unit, there's a lot of delayed maintenance that needed to be done that we started to address. So it kind of boosted the confidence of the tenants, and they really appreciated just some of the small things getting done, and somebody that cared, enough
Yeah,
to do something about it, and it showed.
yeah, yeah. And Kendrick, did you have a lot of renovation experience or managing projects like this beforehand?
No,
No.
no,
All right. So if you can do it, you believe others can do it?
absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. What would be the key for them to be successful like you? What would be the key?
Well, I can tell you what my key was, and it was to get with your program.
Mm,
Um, and like I said, I'm a do-it-yourselfer. And before I got into your program, I printed out listings and looked at the numbers and stuff like that. But I couldn't connect the dots with the numbers and
mm,
make it make sense objectively to see if I had a good deal or not. And so I said, I guess the easiest thing for me to do is just to get with someone who knows, because like you talked about, all of the greats have coaches, right?
yeah,
So that's somebody I can talk to who has been where I'm trying to go, who knows where the potholes are at, who can tell me to change lanes and get me a whole lot further. Like we can have a 5-minute conversation and you're going to tell me some things that would take me maybe years to learn, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
Uh,
don't need shoes to run a marathon, but it helps a lot.
Good.
So
That's that's
the clock
that's
is
a great
always ticking.
metaphor.
So yeah.
Great metaphor. Someone was asking, was this a Class B area? Because they see the nice property. What type of area was it?
It was Class C,
Class
not
C?
B. Yeah, C.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. And someone's asking, when did you start making a profit? I bet they're asking that because you have to put money in the renovation. So how long did it take you to start making a profit? Cash flow.
Uh, well, it technically cash flowed from the very beginning, but
Mhm.
since I put so much money into it, it's pretty much starting to catch up now. So that's what I'm trying to start catching up and making a profit. But it's been making money, but it's pretty much been filling the pot back up.
Got
And
it.
the good thing is that now it's doing it by itself.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
a
Okay.
well-oiled machine now.
So you are in essence playing Monopoly.
I am. I am. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Someone's asking, did Julia assist with finding the contractor?
No, no. So
No.
my property manager, they had a list of contractors that they dealt with, and I also reached out on my own to find a few others like that. So, because
Okay.
they're familiar with a lot of the people, I relied on them heavily initially, and Jennifer and her team, they kept me out of a lot of trouble. So they were invaluable.
Great. Great. Ralph is asking, Kendrick, how did you get the funding for this property? The down payment came from you, right?
It did. I did it the old-fashioned way. I saved the money. I was serious about changing my future, and I reduced a lot of pretty much all of my expenses, and whatever I made from my job, I saved it, stacked it up,
Wow.
and I had to get it out the mud myself.
So how did you get over the fact I have all this money? Do I buy the Corvette? Right? How did you avoid that trap?
Well, like I said, some of it came from the books and stuff that I read
Mm,
about buying liabilities.
mm,
And I'm kind of a forward thinker. I'm getting older, and the vet would be nice for a little while, but it's going to depreciate, and it takes money out of my pocket. It doesn't put money into my pocket. So it was a easy decision for me
yeah.
to purchase an asset that was going to feed me instead of take money away.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So all right. So here's a question I want to ask. Uh, if you had never taken action on this deal, Kendrick, where do you think you'd be financially today?
Well, I would probably still have just my single families, and I would definitely have less optionality from a quality of life perspective,
Mm,
and that spans a whole lot of areas, right? Um, and options, I like options because you can do more things, but one of the biggest things that I didn't calculate doing this is the person that you become by
mm,
overcoming your anxieties and your fears by doing this, because you have to talk to people that you wouldn't normally talk to, go places you wouldn't normally go, learn things you wouldn't normally learn because you have money invested. And I had to, conquer a few fears along the way, right? And when you improve yourself, you benefit, but everybody that comes in contact with you benefit also. So that was one of the biggest things um, for me that I didn't calculate, is like who you become in the process, right?
mm.
Um, but like they say, money doesn't make you happy, but it'll sure put a smile on your face.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. So yeah, you mentioned something, the person that you've become. So
yeah.
as a result of this process, what have you become? Who have you become? What changed?
Just so much. One, something that I never had a lot of was patience.
Mm,
So
mm,
I had to be more patient as a person. I turned the drive, because the drive was about an hour and 20 minutes from my home. So I would listen to audiobooks going back and forth,
mm,
trying to get some knowledge about, real estate and other areas of my life. Um, and just getting in the right frame of mind. And, when you peel back and find that you have other layers of yourself that you didn't know you had, um, you just become a better person in the process. And a source of um, inspiration to others that are watching you. And a
Yeah.
lot of times you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was just it was just
Yeah.
huge. And
Yeah.
I'm just thankful to go through the process, especially at a certain point in my life when I needed
Yeah.
purpose and direction. It was right on time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting how things are kind of right on time
Oh yeah.
when you take the action, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like
And
magic.
then you have the help behind you to guide you.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Great. Great. All right. So Kendrick, thanks for sharing on this deal. Hold on a second. I want to run a poll for everyone here. And all right. So first of all, whoops, let me go back here. What I want to share is this right here, right? Now let me go back to this so you can see Kendrick's property. But what I want to share here is this right here. Let me go to it. And that is, here's a poll question. I'm going to put the poll up, okay? And I want you to answer the poll, right? So who would like to learn how to find, fund, and uh, and buy a deal just like Kendrick, right? Who wants to do this? I'm going to launch this poll, right? And the poll is this right here, right? So who would like to learn more on this, right? About getting mentored by me and my team. So you can get mentored by myself, show you how to find these deals, how to fund them, how to structure them, how to get the money for them, how to rental them, how to value them, how to get the loan for them, all that. So who wants to learn more exactly what Kendrick's experience was? And Kendrick, how was your experience working with us?
It's been awesome, and I look forward to continuing to work with you guys because you keep me on my toes, and I know I wouldn't be on top of the property and know it as well without you guys. Like I already know. So
Yeah,
along those lines, I just kind of want to say thank you for creating this for people like me who can take a shot on themselves and possibly dramatically change their quality of life and their family and the people that they care about. So thank you,
you're so welcome. So
thank
welcome. Yep. So again, who wants to learn more, right? Put in the answer the poll. Who'd like to learn more about getting mentored by me and my team? All right. So going to put there. And so the answer is yes, or it could be yes, but I have some questions. And that's fine too, right? It's just about learning more and exploring what we've created over the years. All right. Now, for some of you, um, I want to ask this right here. Some of you may want to learn um, or speak to someone tonight, right? So is anyone out there want to talk to someone tonight, right? To learn more exactly what our program is about. Okay, it's one-on-one mentoring, like Kendrick mentioned, right? One-on-one mentoring. We have group calls. We share in profits so that we are vested in this deal. So if Kendrick doesn't make money, we don't make money. That's the way it's set up. So we are incentivized to make sure that Kendrick is successful so that we are successful as well. All right. So who would like to speak to someone tonight? I have a few people in the back office waiting to hear from you, and they would like to talk with you. All right. So we can see who wants to learn something tonight, or you can schedule for something later if now's not the right time for you. All right. So go ahead and do that. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, all right, let me go ahead and answer. I see a few more answers coming in here. So if you want to schedule something for a little later, right, go ahead and click on that. If you want to speak to someone tonight, go ahead and click on that, and we'll get right back to you on that. All right. So I'm going to share something on my screen here. I'm going to stop the share here. All right. Let me end the poll here. All right. All right. And don't worry, we'll come back and share this. So what I want to do here is share something else with you on this. Okay. And that is this here. I want to share this with you. Okay. So this is gonna let me share this with you here. All right. So this basically shares with you um, when you go to commercialpropertyadvisors.com/coaching, it's going to take you to this screen here. Right here, you can put in your application. So those of you that want to apply, you can go here, commercialpropertyadvisors.com/coaching. The link is right here. You're going to come across the screen. You're going to put in your state. What do you want real estate to do for you, right? And how much do you have available to invest? Your first name, your last name, your email address, your phone number, and click this box right here to call me, and then click on Get Mentored, right? And then someone will contact you. All right. So commercialpropertyadvisors.com/coaching, go there. Or again, if you want to just go here, let me take you back here. All right, let me relaunch this. Okay, and again, if someone wants to talk to someone tonight, we're here. Okay, so we're in the back office waiting. So let me know if someone's interested. I'll leave this up for a second. All right, uh, and then I know we're 1 minute past, but I still want to share a video with you in a couple minutes, and it's really great video. But before I do that, could you all in the chat just give Kendrick some love? Tell him thank you. Tell him great job. Let's encourage him. He went out on the limb doing this deal, and he had to safety net us, and he has exceeded greatly, right? And so I want you to just say congrats to Kendrick. Kendrick, do you see the chat? You see all the love there?
I do, and I really appreciate it. Thank y'all.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So what I want to do next is I'm going to turn on this video, and I want you guys to watch this video. Okay, we're not done here yet. Watch this video of other students just like Kendrick doing their deal. All right. Okay. So go ahead and check out the video, and Kendrick, thank you so much, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.